For years, the NFC West has been the NFL's gauntlet. The Legion of Boom Seahawks, the 49ers near dynasties, the Rams Super Bowl triumph. This division forged champions and broke contenders. But in 2025, the story is shifting. San Francisco just lost Deebo Samuel. Christian McCaffrey is still spectacular, but fragile. Arizona is talented, but incomplete. Seattle is rebuilding from the ground up. And standing tall in the middle of it all, the Los Angeles Rams, rebuilt, reloaded, and ready to rise again. The NFC West has never been for the faint of heart. In the early 2010s, it was Seattle's kingdom. The Legion of Boom terrorized quarterbacks, Marshawn Lynch bulldozed defenses, and Russell Wilson made magic. They won a Super Bowl and came within 1 yard of another.
Super Bowl 48 champion!
Man, it feels so good, man. First in franchise history, all glory to God.
By the late 2010s, the Rams took the torch. Sean McVay's high-octane offense, Aaron Donald's generational dominance, and Matthew Stafford's arrival in 2021 culminated in a Super Bowl victory. The horns rose, Los Angeles partied, and it felt like a dynasty was coming. But the NFL has a cruel way of humbling dynasties before they're born. After their title, the Rams unraveled. Injuries hit like a plague. Cooper Kupp, once the most feared receiver in football, slowed with age and setbacks. The offensive line broke down. Aaron Donald retired, leaving a void impossible to fill. By 2023 and 2024, the Rams weren't contenders. They were survivors, fighting for wild cards, clinging to Stafford's grit, surviving on McVay's brilliance. They weren't feared anymore. But that's the funny thing about the NFL. In the space of one offseason, everything can change. And in 2025, everything did. When franchises lose their stars, most crumble. The Rams, they reloaded. Sean McVay didn't walk away when Donald retired or when Kupp's body gave out. He doubled down. And what he built in 2025 might just be the most balanced Rams team since their Super Bowl run. Matthew Stafford was supposed to be done. Too many hits, too many surgeries, too many questions about whether his body could hold up. But Stafford is still here. And in 2024, he proved he's not just here, he's thriving. 3,900 yards and 27 touchdowns, ranking among the league's best in deep ball accuracy.
Matthew Stafford, you can see why he's still got that big arm. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
What makes him dangerous in 2025 isn't just his arm, it's his experience. Stafford has seen every coverage, faced every blitz, and played through every injury. In a division with young quarterbacks like Kyler Murray and Sam Darnold, and even Brock Purdy still proving himself, Stafford is the one you trust when the season's on the line. He is the division's most battle-tested quarterback, and in the NFC West, that still matters. The biggest splash of the Rams offseason was the arrival of Davante Adams. Yes, Adams is 32. Yes, he's logged thousands of snaps. But don't confuse age with decline. In 2024, Adams still put up 1,310 yards and 9 touchdowns, despite inconsistent quarterback play in Las Vegas and whatever that was with the Jets. His release at the line is still surgical. His footwork is still unmatched. He remains one of the best red zone receivers in football. And now, for the first time in years, he won't be asked to carry the entire passing attack, because across from him is Puka.
He's gonna be faster than you think he is. He's gonna be stronger than you think he is.
Favorite Puka play, the one where he scored against the Browns when we checked into 4 verticals because Matthew saw the blitz coming and then he was able to split the seam down the middle and it was off to the races.
Puka is a different type of weapon, fearless over the middle, versatile in motion, deadly after the catch. Together, a rising star with fire in his veins. For years, tight end was an afterthought in McVay's system. But with rookie Terrence Ferguson flashing in camp in the preseason, the Rams suddenly have a third option in the passing game. At 6 feet 6 inches, Ferguson gives Stafford a mismatched nightmare down the seam, especially when defenses shade coverage toward Adams and Puka. Add in the return of Tyler Higbee as a steady veteran, and this Rams offense is as multiple as it has been in years. Replacing Aaron Donald is impossible. He wasn't just a Hall of Famer, he was a cheat code. Double teams meant nothing, triple teams barely slowed him down. But the Rams have adjusted. Instead of one generational force, they now rely on balance and depth. Byron Young, the edge rusher who posted 9 sacks in 2024, is emerging as a disruptive force. Kobe Turner, the defensive tackle nicknamed the Conductor, added 8 sacks from the interior last season, giving LA real push inside. In the secondary, Quentin Lake has quietly developed into a versatile safety, while Darian Kendrick and Tre'Davious White, a savvy veteran addition, stabilize the corner room. No, this defense isn't Donald's defense, but it doesn't have to be. It's deeper, it's faster, and under McVay's game management, it's good enough to hold leads, something past Rams defenses often failed to do. Sean McVay was once criticized as flashy, a boy genius who could script beautiful plays but got outcoached in big moments. Not anymore. After 8 seasons, McVay has matured. He's seen his roster gutted and rebuilt. He's survived injuries, retirements, and the pressure of Los Angeles lights. And in 2025, he has reinvented himself. Still creative, but more balanced, more patient, more willing to grind games out instead of trying to out-pretty opponents. This is a Rams team built in McVay's full image. Tough, dynamic, and finally, complete. The NFC West has never been easy. But in 2025, the Rams' biggest advantage isn't just who they are. It's who their rivals aren't. Each contender in this division carries fatal flaws, cracks that the Rams are built to exploit. San Francisco 49ers, fragile giants. For years, the 49ers have been the Rams' greatest obstacle. From Kyle Shanahan's perfectly choreographed offenses to a suffocating defense, San Francisco seemed built in a lab to torture Los Angeles. But in 2025, the cracks are undeniable. Deebo Samuel is gone. Traded to Washington, the 49ers lost not just a wide receiver, but the heartbeat of their offense. Deebo was more than a weapon. He was a tone setter, a mismatch nightmare who blurred the line between receiver and running back. Without him, San Francisco's offense leans heavier on Brandon Ayuk and newcomer Sky Moore, neither of whom bring Deebo's versatility. And then there's Christian McCaffrey. On paper, CMC is still the best running back in football. But here's the truth, McCaffrey is fragile. He missed so many games throughout his career with ankle and hamstring injuries, and last year the Madden curse got him. He's had repeated soft tissue setbacks throughout his career. At 29 years old, with over 1,700 career touches, the wear and tear is real. Have no clear plan B if he goes down, especially with Robert Saleh returning as coordinator. But even there, question marks exist. Nick Bosa's running mate isn't as dominant, and the secondary struggled when targeted by elite receivers last year. San Francisco is still talented, still dangerous, but they're no longer invincible. Arizona Cardinals, flashes, but not firepower. The Cardinals are the wild card of this division. In 2024, they doubled their win total behind a rejuvenated Kyler Murray, Nolan, and cornerback Will Johnson. The defense finally looked competitive. Offensively, Arizona lacks the firepower to run the gauntlet week after week. Seattle Seahawks, the rebuild era. For over a decade, the Seahawks were the Rams' most hated rival. Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, the Legion of Boom, it was a blood feud. That era is over. Tyler Lockett is gone. DK Metcalf is gone. Geno Smith is gone. Pete Carroll is gone. In their place, a rebuild. Sam Darnold is now under center, a stopgap quarterback, a journeyman. Seattle's young roster has pieces. Rookie linebacker Tyrese Knight is a name to watch. Mike McDonald, their new coach, is building a defensive identity. But this isn't 2013 anymore. The Seahawks aren't a juggernaut. They're a project, and projects don't win the NFC West. Why the Rams stand alone? So here's the landscape. The 49ers are brilliant but fragile. One Christian McCaffrey injury away from mediocrity. The Cardinals are rising, but not ready. Kyler is exciting, but not consistent enough. The Seahawks are rebuilding, miles from contention. And then there are the Rams, battle-tested Stafford, Davante Adams and Puka forming the division's best receiving duo. A defense that doesn't need Aaron Donald to be dangerous. A head coach who's matured from genius to general. The Rams don't just have the best chance to survive the NFC West gauntlet, they have the best chance to win it outright. The Rams' road to the NFC West title won't be easy, but for the first time since their Super Bowl run, it's clear. This is how Los Angeles takes back the throne. Rams versus 49ers, breaking the curse.
And there's Travin Howard to end the game. And the Rams are going to Super Bowl 56.
For years, the 49ers have been the Rams' nightmare matchup. Shanahan's schemes seem to always outwit McVay. But 2025 is different. Without Deebo Samuel, San Francisco loses its offensive chess piece. Brandon Ayuk is dangerous, Sky Moore is promising, but neither command the same respect from defenses. That means Stafford, Adams, and Puka will face fewer shootouts and more winnable slugfests. And here's the X factor. Christian McCaffrey's durability. He's brilliant, yes, he's the engine of their offense. But if in a divisional dogfight against the Rams, missing CMC could be the difference between glory and defeat. The Rams don't need to sweep the Niners, they just need to split. And this year, they finally can. Rams versus Cardinals, experience versus potential. The Cardinals are talented, hungry, and improving, but they're not ready. Against a veteran like Stafford, that's a fatal flaw. The Rams will lean on Adams to bully Arizona's secondary, while Puka's ability to move around the formation forces mismatches against inexperienced corners. Defensively, the Rams' depth overwhelms Arizona's still developing offensive line. Byron Young and Kobe Turner can wreck games if Murray holds the ball too long, which he often does. This is a series where McVay, Seattle is in a full rebuild. With Sam Darnold under center, no DK Metcalf, no Tyler Lockett, and Pete Carroll gone, the Seahawks are a shadow of their former selves. They're young, they're feisty, but they don't have the firepower to keep pace with Stafford, Adams, and McVay's offense. For the Rams, these games are must-wins, and they will be. Divisions aren't just won by talent, they're won by quarterbacks. And here's the truth. Stafford is a Super Bowl champion with over 56,000 career passing yards. He's still top 10 in deep ball accuracy. He's one of the NFL's most battle-tested players in clutch time. Compare that to the rest of the NFC West. Brock Purdy, efficient but unproven when everything falls apart. Kyler Murray, explosive but inconsistent and fragile. Sam Darnold, a journeyman at best. Davante Adams, the X factor. When the Rams signed Davante Adams, the NFC West shifted. Defenses that used to double Puka now have a problem. If you roll coverage to Adams, Puka eats you alive. If you bracket Puka, Adams punishes you on the boundary. Add in Terrence Ferguson down the seam and Higbee as a safety valve, and Stafford suddenly has the most versatile weaponry he's had since arriving in LA. Adams isn't just a new target. He's the veteran leader who takes pressure off everyone else. The defense that doesn't break. Aaron Donald's absence looms large, but this defense is built to bend without breaking. Byron Young and Kobe Turner provide a disruptive interior edge combo. Quentin Lake and Tre'Davious White stabilize the back end. And McVay's new balance, playing complementary football, means the defense won't be gassed by the fourth quarter. It won't be the league's best unit, but it will be good enough. And with Stafford's weapons, good enough is all they need. For the first time since 2021, the Rams aren't just hopeful. They're built. The 49ers are brilliant, but brittle. The Cardinals are rising, but unfinished. The Seahawks are rebuilding, and the Rams, they're loaded, experienced, and ready. This isn't just about winning games. It's about reclaiming the division, reclaiming fear, reclaiming belief. In 2025, the Horns rise again. The NFC West is still a gauntlet, but champions don't fear gauntlets. They thrive in them. Matthew Stafford is still standing. Davante Adams is still elite. Puka is still ascending. Sean McVay is still brilliant. And the Los Angeles Rams are still here. This is their year. This is their division. This is the year of the Horn.